Before we start, if stories about real love, real mistakes, and real consequences hit home for you, take a second to subscribe. It helps more than you think. The night my badge slipped off my neck and hit the marble floor, the music cut out. Not gradually, not awkwardly, just gone. A sharp clack echoed across the company ballroom, louder than it should have been. Conversation stalled mid-sentence. Glasses paused halfway to lips. Someone laughed nervously, then stopped when no one joined in. I froze. My name stared back at me from the floor under the chandelier lights. First name, last name, department, title. Husband. Not officially, of course. But everyone here knew I was married. Everyone except, apparently, the woman standing 6 feet away from me in a red dress, her hand still resting on his arm. Evan, my wife's mentor. That's what she called him when his name started showing up in her texts after 9 p.m. That's what she said when she began taking calls in the bathroom. That's what she said when she stopped wearing her ring to work, because clients notice things. I bent down to grab the badge, my fingers shaking, my ears ringing in the silence. The DJ leaned over his equipment, confused. Someone whispered my name. Someone else looked anywhere but at me. Across the room, my wife finally noticed me. Lena's smile didn't disappear. It hesitated, just half a second too long. Long enough for me to see the calculation behind her eyes. Long enough to confirm what my gut had been screaming for months. Her hand slid off Evan's arm like it had never been there. I thought about the text she sent me that morning. Company party tonight. Might be late. Don't wait up Red Heart. I thought about how she kissed my cheek instead of my lips before leaving. About how she stopped asking about my day. About how love slowly turns quiet before it turns dishonest. The music still hadn't come back on. Evan cleared his throat. Lena took a step toward me, then stopped, like she wasn't sure which role she was supposed to play anymore. Husband, employee, stranger. I picked up my badge, clipped it back on, and looked at her. And in that moment, I realized the badge wasn't the only thing that had fallen. The music came back on like nothing had happened. Bass thumped. Laughter returned. Plates clinked. The room decided, collectively, to move on. Everyone except me. Lena walked toward me, heels careful, smile practiced. The same smile she used on clients, on parents, on strangers who didn't know her. "Hey," she said softly, like we'd bumped into each other at a grocery store, instead of colliding at the end of a marriage. "Hey," I replied. My voice sounded calm. That scared me more than if it had cracked. Evan disappeared into the crowd. Coward move. Predictable. "I didn't know you were coming," Lena said. "You didn't ask," I said. "You said not to wait up." She glanced around, then leaned closer. "Can we not do this here?" That sentence. The universal language of guilt. I followed her to the balcony overlooking the city. Cold air hit my face. Neon lights flickered below us. Somewhere inside, someone toasted teamwork. I pulled out my phone. My hands finally stopped shaking. "Before you say anything," she started, "I can explain." I turned the screen toward her. A screenshot. Her number. Evan's name. A message sent at 12:47 a.m. 3 weeks ago, while she was working late. I wish we didn't have to pretend tomorrow. Her face drained instantly. Not denial. Not confusion. Just defeat. "How long?" I asked. She swallowed. "It's not what you think." I laughed. A short, empty sound. "That's not an answer." She wrapped her arms around herself. "Since the conference in Denver." Denver. The trip, she said, was mandatory. The night she didn't answer my calls. The night I convinced myself I was being insecure. "I didn't plan it," she said quickly. "It just happened." "It always does," I replied. "Convenient how that works." She started crying. Real tears this time. "I never meant to hurt you." That one landed hard. Because intention doesn't erase impact. And love doesn't survive secrecy. From the balcony, I could see inside through the glass. Evan stood near the bar, watching us, waiting. Lena reached for my hand. I stepped back. "I need honesty," I said. "All of it, right now." She opened her mouth. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown message. One line. She hasn't told you everything. The message sat on my screen like a loaded weapon. She hasn't told you everything. Lena was still mid-breath, waiting for my reaction. Her eyes flicked down, caught the glow from my phone, and she knew. Whatever color her face had left vanished completely. "Who is that?" she asked too fast. I looked past her, through the glass. Evan was gone. "I think," I said quietly, "it's someone who's tired of lying for you." Her shoulders slumped. No more defenses. No more polished excuses. Just truth, finally cornered. "It started before Denver," she whispered. "Not physical. At first, just talking, venting." He listened. "You were always tired, always busy." I nodded. "I worked long hours. I came home drained. I still came home. And then," I asked, "and then I liked how it felt to be seen without asking," she said, voice breaking. By the time I realized I was crossing lines, I was already past them. I let the city lights blur. "Did you love him?" Silence answered first. "Yes," she said. "I think I did." That was the cleanest cut. Not the cheating. Not the lies. The clarity. Inside, the party was ending. People grabbed coats. Goodbyes were said. Lives continued. Ours stopped. "I didn't come here to make a scene," I said. "I came because I trusted you. Because I thought maybe I was wrong about everything." She reached for me again. "We can fix this." I shook my head. "You already fixed it, just not in our favor." I took off my ring and placed it in her palm. She gasped like it burned. Evan appeared near the exit, watching. I met his eyes. No words. None needed. He looked smaller up close. I walked past him, out into the cold, alone, but honest for the first time in months. Later that night, I blocked numbers, packed a bag, slept on a friend's couch. My heart felt hollow, but clear. Love doesn't disappear in one moment. It erodes, text by text, lie by lie, until one sound finally exposes everything. If this story hit something real for you, share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, because stories like this are more common than we admit.